So in the last video, what we did was we added a page. And I think we did it on one of these other sites, but I just did it as a sample here on this site. And you'll notice the page is called Transaction Successful, and here it is showing up. And what if you get to a point where you say, I don't want this page to show up. That's not good for me. I don't want it to show up in this header. I don't want to tuck it in under something. Where do I put it? Why would you do that? Well, imagine that you created a form so that people could buy something at PayPal. PayPal is going to ask you, when you're done, where should I send them back, right? And when they send them back, they want to send them to a page that's live on your site, but not a page that you want to show up here. For example, the transaction successful. Now, you may want to say, you may want to change this title to thank you, right? But you initially created it as transaction successful. I'm going to explain that for just a second because there's something really important about your sites, and that's the search engine optimization, and that's the reason why these pages have these full words. In the old days, it used to be like ID equals 6, but Google doesn't know how to do anything with ID equals 6, and transaction successful may be what you want to tie into. However, you can change the title after you've saved the page. You can go back and update the title, and over here what you'll see is, when we come back and hit home, you'll see that it says thank you, but when I click on thank you, the URL is still transaction successful. That's important because, frankly, Google will do more with transaction successful than it will with thank you. You have those choices about how you want to do it. But the point of this video is to say, how do we work with these themes and theme options and WordPress and all this content management stuff to create a page that's legitimately there and yet it doesn't show up in the navigation? That may also be because you don't want it up here, but when someone does something, like if you're on a blog, or even this take a tour, what if you want this link to go to a page that just isn't showing up here, right? Maybe we want it to go to the thank you page or any other page, and you just don't want to put it at the top header. So how do you get rid of showing it? Well, a couple things you need to know about how WordPress works. I'm going to go back to hit edit, and I'm going to see all the pages here. And the thank you page is right here. And when I scroll over thank you, what I'm going to see, and I want you to start staring right at this spot right down here. When I roll over thank you, do you see that it says post equals 90? 90 is the ID for this post. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the theme options. Now, we've not talked about themes yet, but WordPress looks pretty boring if you don't put a theme here. And the reason this site looks the way it does, and the reason this site looks different, and the way this site looks different, is because there are themes that we're using here to make it look right. And the themes have names. In this case, it's called Feature Pitch. When I go into Feature Pitch, you'll see I have theme options. Now you can buy other themes, and you can design your own themes and all that good stuff. When I go into the options for Feature Pitch, one of the things that we have here is navigation settings. And you'll see here that it says exclude pages from the top navigation. And so if I hit comma 90, right, and I hit save, guess what's going to happen, right? When I come over here and hit refresh, that page is going to disappear. Now, does it mean it's gone? No, I can go to transaction successful, and here's my page. It's still here, right? But it is not, it is not showing up anywhere on the site, and that's because I took it out here. Now, we're going to walk through a couple of these options in the next video, but I'm just going to remove that back here. So I'll take that away. What I should see what that does is put the page back. There it is. Then I'm going to go back into my pages, and you should start getting comfortable with pages and posts and manipulating it. And here I am, and I'm going to come to my thank you, roll over it, get to delete, hit delete. And that's how you delete a page as well. We'll come back over to check, and when we hit refresh over here, you'll notice the page is gone. So that's just literally how we add a page somewhere in the site where we don't want it to show up in the header. We use the theme options. More on theme options in the next video. Thanks.